A narrow escape in aisle 4. So this is more of a proxy. I don't work here, lady, and thank you to everyone who posts such lively examples of Karens in the wild. To set the scene, I was recently at a large grocery store that rhymes with flyer. They have really long grocery aisles that are split in the middle with a perpendicular space for better flow through. I go absurdly early in the morning because the music is played at a quieter volume and the only people out in the store are workers stocking the shelves and retirees who wake up before sunrise. Usually I'm happy to help when asked nicely. Everything from pulling something heavy into a cart, reaching the top shelf, even laying on the floor to collect glasses that have been accidentally kicked beneath a shelf. The older regulars and I exchange idle pleasantries and they know me as one of the usual people around. I'm in the cracker, cookie aisle and a stock employee is pulling a large metal dolly towards the back of the store with a stack of deconstructed boxes piled on it. Before she can get to the end of the aisle, 2 mobility scooters round the corner and block her path. And this wasn't accidental. It's clear the scooters were lined up to intentionally block the entire aisle. It was a man and woman. The man looked down at his phone, trying to ignore the madness while the woman smugly crossed her arms. She was the human embodiment of a sour grape. I'm towards the front of the aisle, but can hear this lady exclaim that since the stock person works there, she must do this woman's shopping for her. She's shaking a paper grocery list at the stock person, and she has the exact same facial expression as the gif of the angry little girl shaking a hairbrush. The poor stock person is trying to explain that she doesn't work in customer service, that she is simply there to stock shelves, but the grumpy grape isn't having it. Eventually the stock person loudly states in frustration, "I don't have time for this," and pushes the dolly backwards into the middle aisle gap, circumventing the blockade. This retreat is met with flying obscenities and threats of talking to management, but the stock person moves quickly enough that the scooters can't reposition in time. I can hear the employee's dolly move down an unblocked aisle and into the back of the store, out of reach. If you thought that was the end of it, oh dear reader, you are wrong. The woman then loudly exclaims, "We'll just get that other girl to help us," with an annoyed huff. I almost instantly realize that I'm the only person left in the aisle, and I'm dressed very similarly to the stock person, jeans and t-shirt. For the briefest of moments, I did think about explaining to the woman that I didn't work there. I did have a shopping cart after all. But the daunting stories through Reddit have taught me that sensible explanations often lead to conflict and sometimes even assault. This cantankerous woman could fill a Karen bingo card with her exploits. I knew my immediate peril and quickly moved in the opposite direction, scurrying around the corner before she could even try to flag me down with her shopping list. She even tried loudly clicking her fingers like I was a dog. It was genuinely surprising how loudly she snapped her fingers with her dried-up witch hands. But that probably is due to a lot of practice from treating people like slaves. You can call me a jerk for not helping my elders, but there's no way I'm going to get involved with someone who wants me to gather her groceries while she yells at me. By the time I got to the self-checkout register, only the man was in a scooter and the woman was bagging, checking groceries on her feet. I make no claims or assumptions about her physical capabilities, but I did think it was weird that she ditched the scooter somewhere instead of having someone scan her groceries for her. Regardless of the time of day, there's always 2 people helping at self-checkout and there's a checkout lane with another employee available. As I passed her register to do my own self-checkout, she gave me such a venomous stare, but thankfully she kept most of the insults under her breath instead of choosing a confrontation. So thank you Redditors. You taught me how to spot a dangerous Karen in the wild and I avoided the situation.